Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity, y'all, to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market, right? But let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX, and as you can see, we are declining, finding support here at this 1617 level right here that we had marked at 1618 actually is where we had marked. So as of now, where are the trouble places for the VIX? Let's look to the downside, right? So to the downside, if we break this 1617 or 1618 area, just know that we can have trouble right here. Let's see, bring that down just a little bit. We can have trouble around 1609, again at 1601, and down here at this level of 1580. So if we break that 1580 level, just know we can come back to 1562. So from 1580 to 1562, those are places to the downside for the VIX. Now let's look to the upside, because it wouldn't surprise me to see us back up in this $18 range. Let me say that. So trouble places to the upside. If we get back above this 5 EMA at the 1627 area, just know we can have trouble here around 1641. Again at the 1645, 1655, 1663, and 1668. Those are going to be a lot of resistance area, in 1672. So that's a lot of resistance area for the VIX. Now if we should break that, we're really close to the 50 EMA and this ATR trailing stop that's forming around the 1681 area. So I'll definitely watch that. If we break that level, just know we can have trouble at 1688, 1689 area, $17, and we knew that 1720 area was a resistance area for a 1721. So if we break that 1721, just know 1741, 1752, which is right there close to that 1760 area, and beyond that is beyond, you will break the 200 EMA. So we can have trouble in this area. I would definitely set my alert above this 1761. That means we have broken through a level of several layers of resistance for the VIX. Let me say that. And I look at the VIX only because it gives me an idea of what's going on with the SPY. And the SPY has been interesting considering we made this high of 572.88, right? Just be mindful, what goes up eventually comes down. So SPY has been trading in this gathering spot for a while, right? So the moving averages, all of this bunched up stuff, it did come down here and find support. Let me see if I can make that a little bit bigger. Yes, we came down here, found support at this 567.72 area, bounced from there only to try to make its way back to the upside. So I always say, where are my trouble places? I identified the gathering spot, right? And I now need to figure out where am I going to have trouble for the SPY. So as of now, if we should continue to the upside, just know this ATR trailing stop at 569.72 is going to be a trouble place, and 570.35 is a trouble place. 570.65, 571.05. Beyond the 571.05, we could possibly have trouble around 572.06. Past the 572.06, 572.88. Those are going to be trouble places if SPY decides to go back to the upside to retest those places, right? So I would definitely be mindful of that. Now, to the downside, if by chance we break back under this 567.68, just know that this 567.19, 566.58, 566.14, under the 566.14, 565.60, under the 565.60, 565.37, which is really close to this this 200 EMA. And what's interesting, I noticed that sometimes, when I look at these, we chart this based on support and resistance basically, and minus the moving averages. When I come back and look at it, it's right where the moving averages are, very close to the moving averages. I wanted to point that out. That's why I say it's always helpful to mark your gathering spots, right, or your support and your resistance. So on the SPY, again, if we should break under 565.40, just know this 200 moving average on this 30-minute chart is at 565.30. Under 565.30, we can come back to 564.33. Now, if we break this 564.33 area, we can come back to 564.84, 564.20, 563.50. Those are places that I would definitely watch for the SPY to the upside and to the downside. Y'all, I always say in the market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed, right? So we are now looking at Tesla. Tesla too has created a gathering spot, or just trading in the gathering spot. Let's say that we had for support, we had about 241.85. Resistance, we had at 242.66. And as you can see, we traded in that zone. It traded in this zone. It's been at this place before, right? So where are the trouble places for Tesla as of today? We have tested this area here at the 243.83. So that's going to be a trouble place, right? Right now, the 5 EMA is our support. It's hanging on right above that 5 EMA. So I always say, identify my gathering spot, which is here. Where are my trouble places for Tesla? As of right now, I have 246.26, 246.55, 246.94, 248.35. If we break that 248.35 area, 248.35, just know that we can have trouble around 249.65. Beyond 249.65, 251.15 or 251.07. Let's say that 251.07. If we break that 251.07, 252.15. So it's 251.07, 252.15, and again here at 252.86. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside for Tesla. Keep in mind, Tesla normally exceeds its ATR for the day. I say that often, right? Now, if by chance we break to the downside, just know that we're going to have trouble around 241.85. And if we break that level, the ATR trail and stop is at 240.05. If we break that, look how close we are with this moving average. And let's see if I can make that well. Yes, this dotted line here and almost at the 50 EMA. That's something that we had marked. So that's, again, another example of why it's important to mark your gathering spots and remember where your support and your resistance is, because if you don't use the moving averages, you still have a guide, right? So as of now, if Tesla should break under 240.05, just know 239.49 is going to be a trouble place, which is close to this 50 EMA at 239.22. So under 239.22, we have 238.27. Under 238.27, we have 236.29 for Tesla. And under 236.29, we have around the 234.66. Now, if we break the 234.66 and the 234.23 area, again, it wouldn't surprise me to see us back in this gathering spot here for Tesla, and that's around 234.23 down to 233.68. Now, if we should break that, just know that we're not far from the 200 moving average on this 30-minute chart. So under 232.54, we can have trouble around 231.92, and again at 231.72. So those are places to the upside and to the downside that I will watch for Tesla, y'all. Trade carefully today. Let me say that it's Friday. Happy Friday. Let's say that, right? So we are now looking at AMD. AMD 2 is trading in this zone. We had pre-market 155.54 was our support area. Resistance was around 156.18. We broke through that only to get rejected at this 156.75. So we really need to be careful. We've gotten rejected here twice, right? So can we continue to the upside for AMD? That's the question. We've identified the gathering spot. We're having trouble at this 156.75 area. So continuing to the upside, our trouble places will be if we break that 156.75, 157.31, 157.60, 158.23, 158.50, 159.18, and 159.52. Those are places to the upside that I would see trouble or resistance for AMD. Now to the downside, if by chance we break back under this level of support here at 155.50, just know we're really close to the ATR trail and stop, the 50 EMA, and a previous level here at 155.10. Under the 155.10, which I would consider as somewhat of a strong support area, 154.84. If we should break this 154.84, we could possibly come back to 154.02, and again at 153.26. Under 153.26, we can have trouble around 152.98, 152.64, and 152.14. Now, if we break that 152.14, we will possibly have trouble here at this 200 moving average on this 30-minute chart around 151.52. Again, those are places to the upside and to the downside for AMD. And I always say, y'all, anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed, right? So we are trying to load NVIDIA. We are now looking at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA 2 is trading in this gathering spot, right? So Pre-market, I would say support is around 116.83. We've broken out of the resistance area, which I had marked here at 117.01. We broke past that, had some little trouble around 117.30, came up and tested 117.61, got rejected here. We went up to 117.88, got rejected, only to come back to this line here. So I would definitely watch NVIDIA now, because we did test this line and come back down. We could possibly break through. So I always say, where's the gathering spot? We've located that, and our trouble places are 117.59, 117.86, 118.16, 118.52, 119.17, 119.76. And if we break the 119.76, 119.95, those are going to be trouble places to the upside for NVIDIA, right? So if we should break to the downside, just know anything under, if we break under the 116.55, we possibly will have trouble at 116.34, again at 116.05, 115.38, under 115.38. We're really close to that 28 level. So let's see where, if we should break under this 115.28 area, just know that we could possibly come back to 113.77, and again here at 113.34. So those are trouble places for NVIDIA, or support and resistance for NVIDIA for today. And again, I always say, often y'all, trade carefully in the market. Anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. And I looked at Netflix from yesterday because of the daily chart. It had some it was consolidating or creating a gathering spot, as I like to say. And my charts are having some difficulties loading today, which is okay. We're going to go back to the spot, hopefully, to see what's going on. I am recording this video in a different location, so right now we're having some technical difficulties, but it's okay, y'all. Listen, I hope that everyone have a very profitable day. We'll just say that. I hope that everyone have a very profitable day, a very, very productive day. And I always like to say, trade carefully, and once it goes against your why, get out. Live to trade another day, right? That's always important. And always mark your stop levels, or if you don't do a stop loss, make sure you do a mental stop and get out, or be prepared to get out. So yeah, you're really having some technical difficulties today, but it's okay. Again, y'all, I hope that everyone have a very profitable, very productive day. If you could, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Why? Because we learn and we grow together. Until next time, be blessed, as well as a blessing unto others.